Loving, caring, and peaceful English viewers, subscribe, like, and share my revenge stories. Your kindness fuels justice. Now, let's dive into a story where exclusion turned into poetic payback. What do you do when your company hides important meetings upstairs, knowing you're in a wheelchair? Some people would quit, others would complain. I did something different. I documented, I planned, and I took the whole company down from the inside. If you've ever been excluded, ignored, or made to feel invisible, this story will strike a chord. Stay until the end, because justice, when it finally comes, tastes even sweeter. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and drop your own stories in the comments. When I started at this mid-sized tech firm, I was excited. I had the skills, the ambition, and the drive to make things happen. Yes, I use a wheelchair, but I never let that define me. At first, everything seemed fine. My boss praised my reports, clients respected my insights, and the company positioned itself as progressive. But then, the cracks began to show. Management started holding leadership meetings on the top floor, the only floor with no elevator access. I asked politely if the location could be changed. They smiled, nodded, then ignored me. The next week, it happened again, and again. Each time I had to beg for notes after the fact, which always came late, incomplete, or altered. I was being cut out of decisions. One afternoon, I overheard a manager whisper, "Don't worry, he won't be in the meeting anyway. It's upstairs." It wasn't an oversight. It was deliberate exclusion. The worst came during a quarterly review. My entire team presented upstairs, while I sat downstairs with my laptop, waiting for updates like an outsider in my own job. When the meeting ended, they filed past me, avoiding eye contact. I realized then, they weren't just ignoring me, they were erasing me. And that's when my plan for revenge was born. Documentation. I kept a log of every upstairs meeting, with dates, times, and names of who attended. Emails. I politely requested accessible locations, knowing they'd reply with empty promises. Every "we'll consider it" became evidence. Witnesses. A couple of colleagues whispered support. They agreed to testify if needed. Legal prep. I consulted an employment lawyer. When she saw the file I'd built, she said 5 words that lit a fire in me. This could sink the company. I kept my head down and kept collecting. The company kept piling on the mistakes, denying me promotions, excluding me from planning, holding mandatory training sessions upstairs. Finally, I filed a formal complaint. HR brushed it off. Perfect, because now I had proof of internal negligence too. My lawyer filed suit for disability discrimination and workplace exclusion. The case hit harder than anyone expected. In court, management tried to argue that stares weren't intentional, but my emails, logs, and witnesses told a different story. The judge leaned forward and asked the CEO, "Why did you continue to hold meetings in inaccessible spaces after repeated requests?" The CEO stuttered. There was no answer. Verdict: the company was guilty of discrimination. They were fined heavily, ordered to implement accessibility measures immediately, and I was awarded a massive payout. The local press ran the headline, "Tech firm sued for excluding disabled employee. Pays the price." And just like that, the company's progressive image collapsed. Sometimes revenge isn't fire and fury. Sometimes it's patience, paperwork, and a courtroom where the truth speaks louder than excuses. They thought stares could keep me down. Instead, those stares brought the whole company down. So tell me, would you have fought back the same way, or just walked away? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And if this story inspired you, subscribe, and share. Because every time we expose injustice, we make it harder for bullies to win.